Guys, we're so excited. We're in Granville, Tennessee.
Yes.
Mayberry. They say this is the Tennessee's Mayberry.
Yes, it is. And it was voted as one of the only towns in the United States that's kept its small town feel.
Some of the places we're going to be taking this video is just a brief inside of the TB Sutton Store, because we got a whole other video on that one.
Well, we bought tickets.
Yeah.
This historic tour, walking tour of Granville.
$7.
Yes, each. And there's spots you go to and check it out. So we've Sutton General Store, but there's Granville Gifts, the Bank Museum and Post Office and Barbershop for Mayberry, the Granville Museum, the Farm to Table Agricultural Museum, the Southern Shops, the Clemens Car Museum, Mayberry and Lucy Museum, Whiskey Decanter Museum, and Whistle Stop Saloon. The Aunt Bee's.
That's a lot of places.
Yeah, Aunt Bee's Farmhouse and Quilt Shop and Bakery, the Tennessee Quilt and Textile Museum.
If you want to go check these out with us, come along. Bruce is going to be here with us some. He grew up here in town, knows all about it.
Yes.
And they gave us a special little thing to put on so
Yes.
that we can get into all these places.
Tennessee's Mayberry town, it says.
Let's go.
Granville was settled in 1799 by a group of people from Granville County, North Carolina. They had received land grants for having fought in the Revolutionary War. The thing that interested them was the Cumberland River. And so we became a major riverboat town with 3 landings and 3 warehouses. And we serviced the Cookeville and Crossville area because we were the closest place by water that merchandise could be brought in. As a result of that, we grew to a town and a community of around 1,000 people. We were heavy in agriculture. When the Cordell Hull Lake came in 1970s, it devastated this community because it took our best farmland, and we had some 50 families that left Granville over a period of 2 years, and we became what the Nashville Tennessean called us as Tennessee's ghost town. The store behind us is what revitalized Granville, and the fact that Harold and Beverly Sutton purchased it and restored it. But from that, it just helped us to grow into a tourism town. We began to do Mayberry plays to help pay the utility bills at the Sutton Store, and as a result of that, we were given a large collection of Andy Griffith, and we were given a large collection of I Love Lucy, enough that we could establish a museum here. And we were certified as Tennessee's Mayberry town, and so we do a lot of Mayberry things. You will see Mayberry characters on the streets. We do a Mayberry Lucy Day the second weekend of April that draws people from across the nation. We have all of the living characters, the children of Andy Griffith, Barney, little Ricky, so it draws a lot of national attention to us with that. And so people think it reminds them of Mayberry as they kind of walk down the streets.
Right. And you have about, you said 8 festivals a year?
We do. We start the year with the Mayberry Lucy Festival. The first weekend of May, we have the Cornbread and Moonshine Festival. We have a museum here that Hop T. Lee was a noted moonshiner that lived here in Granville. He went on to have a whiskey store on Broad in Nashville and in Louisville, Kentucky. And so his whiskey became very popular, so we have done a museum here for him. And then we have been given over 5,000 whiskey decanters, and we have established the world's largest whiskey decanter museum. That's of every aspect of life. We have every Elvis Presley decanter that was ever made, Native American. We have some 400 antique cars. Whatever your passion is in life, you will see a China decanter in that museum telling that story. So it is just opened in May, and we're getting lots of attention with it. Mm-hmm. But one of our biggest festivals is the entire month of October, when we have a Scarecrow and Old Time Artisans Festival. From that, we go to Christmas. We open the second week of November with Christmas characters on parade, with a festival of trees, with an antique toy show, but we decorate our town in a Hallmark movie fashion. And so we brand it that way during Christmas. We have bells that hang across the street. We have the red trucks out on the street decorated, and so it's just a real unique place to come.
Do those red trucks have any Christmas trees in
They
them?
do. They do. And lots of lights, lots of decor, and we have lots of hand-painted Christmas scenes that are really unique.
Yes.
We have Christmas bluegrass shows each Saturday night from November through December. We have a country Christmas the second Saturday of December that is all types of Christmas music. We have a parade, Santa Claus, all of those type things. So there's always something unique going on here in Granville to promote it, and that's how we've made it a tourist destination.
All throughout the year.
All throughout the year.
Okay, thanks so much, Randall. We appreciate it. And what's the main website everybody can go to find out all the information here?
GranvilleTN.com.
GranvilleTN.com. Y'all make sure and thank Randall. And we're going to introduce you to Bruce here at some point. Make sure and thank both these guys for having us here. And thanks again.
You should visit Granville. It's Tennessee's Mayberry. We're here with Bruce Carter, and he's going to tell us some about the town we're staying, our Winnebago, with Mike and me and Big T in his park. He's got 2 spots. And we're standing in front of what used to be the bank, and I think he might have a story about the bank. And anything else you want to tell us, Bruce?
Yes. Well, we are in Granville. It's Rice Street RV Park. We're located right in the middle of town here. And you can hear our neighborhood rooster crowing back here. But a few years ago, I bought a lot there that was quite a mess and cleaned it up and really had no plans for it. And at the time, we had several elderly folks coming to visit Granville, and they were having to stay at the RV park out at the edge of town and take their carts and things down the highway. So I decided to put in a couple of plots and set in the utilities there, and that's how we got started. And so we're right here. It's mainly convenience. It's a neighborhood setting right in the middle of town, and love to have everybody to come. You can find us at RiceStreetRVPark.com.
And what is the story about this bank?
Well, this is the old bank building here. I'm 70 plus. I grew up in this town. I tell people I wore out 2 bicycles before they ever paved the streets. But several of us in my generation opened up our first bank accounts here. Mr. Arthur Willoughby was the banker, and we were mowing yards and supporting people and working for 50 cents an hour. So we opened up our bank account so we could get rich and retire someday. And so this was the old original bank here in Granville. Hey, we're going to the bank robberies again.
Okay, well, wait a minute. He was just saying that this bank was robbed. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was robbed several times here. Most of the time in the middle of the night. Being a rural bank in a rural area, the guys would come in and break into the door, and they'd bring their acetylene torches in and lay under cart and cut the doors open and break into it. And that happened 2 or 3 times. And
how much money did they get?
Don't remember.
Okay.
Don't remember.
None of your money, though.
None of mine, apparently. I didn't have that much in there from the beginning. They didn't take the change.
Yeah. All right, folks, this is really the only community church left here, Granville Methodist Church.
Now, several years ago, they had to replace the windows in the church here. And some of the native families went together, and we all sponsored a window in the church to get it replaced.
Wow.
Even those windows right there.
Yes.
Pretty over the doors.
Isn't that pretty? So how old is the church?
1896.
1896. What do you think about that church?
It's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love those windows, those glass windows.
Our next stop is the Sutton Homestead. We see somebody on the porch.
Yes. It's Aunt B and Opie.
Aunt B and Opie.
Yeah, from Aunt Griffith.
And some other guests of the town, it looks like. Yeah, there's Aunt B.
Mm-hmm.
This house was actually built in 1880. This is when this house was built. And it was never renovated till 1945. Flooring was not touched. The flooring is the existing 1800, and the windows are the existing 1800s. We're going to go into the dining room. Let's go back to 1800. This is a table setting that you would have seen in the 1800s. And the china that you would have seen is a china that goes back into a little bit later than the 1800s. And it is called the Flying Bird China. This is a table setting in the olden times. And they also had the little glasses that has the birds on them. A decoration where women really dressed up to go into Nashville on the steamboat. What they called, in the 1800s to the 1930s, this is what they called the parlor. And one of the notable things in this room is the Victorian piece of furniture. Now the Victorian furniture in here, this particular piece is called the Victorian settee. The first thing that you notice is this framed picture right here. And this was donated by a lady for us to use during this period. Because this dollar bill she inherited from family, and this dollar bill goes way back to when Lincoln was president of the United States. These little shoes are just worn year after year after year. The second door there is a door that was stored way back in the 1800s. And I want you to look at the handle and the key slot. That goes back to pre-Civil War. That was a pre-Civil War door. As I told you, this is Dr. Simmons' office. He was the first one to use this. Dr. Simmons is on the wall, and it shows you examples of a weight machine and examination chair where he kept all of his patients' information, the filing cabinet. I say bed is probably, but during the time of Dr. Simmons and during the time of Ethel's mom and dad, the Browns, they used the wood stove. And they also used the ice box. They did not have an electric stove or a refrigerator. They used those things to cook on and store their ice to keep things cold.
This was, what'd you say, $14.95?
$14.95.
When it was originally from Sears and Roebuck.
Sears and Roebuck.
Here's the ice chest.
But this is a place that showed you all the different things. Ethel loved to cook. She loved to can, pressure cookers, different things to cook with.
That was
very informative and detailed.
The way they used to live, just amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is the barn. This was the barn. The original barn was from right here back when Mr. Sutton had the farm. You notice the implements along the wall and everything. There's various implements, everything from fence stretching material to tobacco harvesting material to hay saws and harness and everything else. This is an operating grist mill. It actually we run it about 5 times a year. We'll run about 1,000 pounds of corn through it every time we fire it up. Come on through. Now Mr. Sutton always had a garden. These are called spinner gourds. They're little round gourds that they can actually use. Kids can use them as a spinning top. But it's also, castor is a very poisonous. The little bulbs on there are very poisonous. They are actually made. That's what they make rice and gas out of, which has been outlawed for years in warfare. But it's one of the most deadly gases in existence. But they're also called mole beans. If you have moles in your yard, take one of those, stick it down in a hole, it'll get rid of your moles.
Open well of Uncle Jimmy Thompson, originator of the Granville Opry, 1925.
Located on a farm in the Liberty community, about 3 miles east of Granville. A.J. Jack Ventures.
One-room cabin.
Yeah.
To reuse the logs from the kitchen structure.
It's Uncle Jimmy Thompson's barn. Well, there's just so much to see here, folks. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
You know, you see every outhouse you see, there's usually a crescent moon put in the door of it. The history, what it says, that if you see a door with a sun or a moon or a star in it, it's for females only. The crescent moon was a unisex outhouse.
Wow. That West End Market, Antique Car Museum.
I see. Is that Gomer?
Yeah, that's Gomer and Goober. Look at these bicycles. Do you see that? Granville Steamboat Landing. Look at that. Whizzer. That's an 86 Indy pace car.
I was in here with a guy one day, and he pointed that out. Said it was very unusual to even see one, much less one that's in that good a shape.
Oh yeah. It looks like it was pretty unique, pretty early on with the motor and. You got a car in here?
Yeah, it's 1915 is my model.
1915. So how did you come about this?
I fell in love with Model Ts when my dad had his, and I worked on it quite a bit, restored it, and a guy come through from North Carolina back in the late 60s and asked Dad if he'd sell it, and Dad had been pricing it pretty high at the time, $2,000, and nobody would pay that, so he priced it $2,000, and the guy pulled out his $100 bills, counted it out to him.
Yeah.
Drove down the street, got his trailer, and come back and loaded it up and hauled it away. And so I'd always been looking for Model Ts, and I've even tried to find my dad's with no luck. And I had picked up a 1927 Roadster and a 1921 Center Door, and then 6 months later this one came available in Oklahoma, and I went and looked at it and decided to add it to the collection.
Right,
so, yeah.
What's I wonder what the value of it is right now. Have you had it appraised or get an estimate?
I just told a gentleman a minute ago I'll probably never get back what I put in it, but it's probably the condition of this one would be in a range of $15,000 to $20,000.
Okay.
They're not as expensive as you might think.
Yeah.
So. This one's got two horns on it. There's one in the floorboard, and then this is I think it's a Kelton.
Yeah. Well.
So you can get the cows out of the road real quick.
Okay, what are we looking at here?
This is a 1934 Dodge. I think there was only a limited number of them made.
15, I think, maybe of them.
And this is one of the ones
One
that's
of
on loan.
350.
This is on loan. It is for sale. My understanding is it's a 6-digit car. Probably one of the most expensive cars we've had in the.
Well, Ken got to sit down in that old car and get some pictures made.
Yes,
I'm telling you, folks, this town is it's really neat.
it is.
Isn't it?
It is like Tennessee's Mayberry.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
Wally's service station.
That's Goober and Gomer.
Gomer,
At
yeah.
Wally's
I hear somebody's horn going off over there.
Yeah.
There's the. Look at that.
That's a neat car out front too.
Mm-hmm. Good sign out there. There it is.
Welcome to the Broom Shot.
Thank you.
Different color ones, look.
Yeah. Did you see these little ones right here? That's handy in the van, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Looks like you're making one there now.
Right now, what I'm working on is the turkey wing whisk brooms is what I'm making today.
Oh, neat. We bought a broom from Ogle's Broom Shop in, yeah, is that from there?
Two of them are oval brooms, yes.
Okay. Yeah, and we still got it, so.
He's third generation broom maker.
Right, yeah.
His great grandmother was the broom maker, and that's one of her brooms there.
Oh, really?
And then that's one of her brooms in that replica of a.
Oh, right here.
It was a pencil drawing. It's
Yeah.
a duplicate. And this is one of our oldest pieces of equipment. This is a mid to late 1800s broom making machine. It was foot power, so the operator would come back here and he would use his foot to make the machine run. And in 1820, the shaker ladies developed this broom selling press that you'd put your round broom in here, and I don't have a round broom right now. And once your broom's done, that will allow you to stitch your broom like what's.
Okay. Okay, now down the street this way. Looking forward to dinner and music tonight.
Yes.
See the homes here. There's one there. Headed toward the Cumberland River. Okay, here's the Lakeside General Store. What was his name, Tony?
Yes, Tony.
Thanks for saying hey, Tony. Historic walking tour. It's part of the tour. Hi, how are you? Good. So it looks like they got a little bit of everything in here. What's that, breakfast? Those pies look good, don't they?
Those cookies and cream.
Oh, that looks really good.
Strawberry cream looks good. Chocolate cream.
Look at this. But you can get snacks or whatever, drinks and things like that in here if you're camping down the ways. Anyway, it's pretty, isn't it?
Yes.
What are you doing? You have to...
My heel got caught in something.
Oh, okay.
Something
There's
back
some
there.
restrooms right there. Walking tour 20. That's number 20. What's it say on the list? Number 20 is
20 is Granville Veterans Park.
Mayberry, Andy's, and Barney's car sitting over there. So this is a Darlin's house, Karen?
Yes, because that's her. That's the youngest, the only daughter. That's Mr. Darling.
Yeah, that's him right there.
Yeah. Brothers and sisters.
Yeah, that's him. Look. Oh, and we're coming up to Lucy. Look at there. There's Andy and Barney. Isn't that neat?
Come on in. This is our Jim Beam Buchanan Museum. This man and his wife that are on the Tennessee Crossroads, they donated their whole life collection.
Oh, yeah.
And that's this.
I mean, there's tons of them in here, isn't there?
Yes.
Just on and on and on.
We had one gentleman that had a collection and he wanted a place to put it. He donated it if we could get the building built.
Yeah.
Well, as it turned out, one of the Sutton heirs was very interested in this and they donated the money for the building.
Oh.
And so we got the building built for that donation, got the stuff donated. Well, Mr. Barrett knew another fellow that had a collection and he was trying to find a place for it. When we got that one, that's what made it the world's largest.
It's very valuable. Jim Beam wanted to buy that and he wouldn't sell it to him. They don't have that one.
Now what we got here?
This is the Lucy and Desi Museum. We can go into it from the
Okay.
that he gave you.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, look at there. There's Floyd, Karen.
Yeah. Here's one of our favorite episodes, The Haunted House.
Oh yeah. Somebody's in jail over here. Is that Otis? Otis, yeah. Desi Lou Studios.
Oh, it's a record. Wait, what? At the bottom here?
Lucy. There's Otis. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are y'all tonight?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, this
No,
is it.
Whistle Stop Saloon, isn't it?
Thought it helped her.
Oh yeah. Wasn't she one of the sisters too? The Moonshine? No?
It's a different one. Etta May or something like that.
Okay. Hand dipped 5 cents. Got a little poker game going on here. In the saloon. Oh yeah, that's neat. Very nice. Here's a bed and breakfast. You guys would like to check it out. Okay, Clemens Car Museum. Well, that's pretty.
This was Randall's old car. I mean, his grandfather's old car.
This was Randall's grandfather's, 56. That's the original miles on it? 13.8. So he just gets this out for the parade?
Well, this one, he's actually taking it to the Hershey car show in Pennsylvania, AACA Nationals. And you can see it's got an award on it.
Yeah, we're gonna find out what this one cost. First lien, $576.
Kelly's was one of the early merchants here.
Okay.
The Kelly family. They owned a lot of this, and the old store sat on this corner right here. And as a kid, this store was still active as a grocery store.
Granville.
This is something else.
It's the Mayberry post office.
And barber shop.
Granville Gifts. Yeah. This is the old bank, right?
Right.
Yep.
Hats, they have hats.
Oh no, they have hats. And more hats.
You guys, did you see the cars?
We knew you'd be in the business.
I see more hats back in the back.
Where are they going?
Let's see. There's some jewelry too, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's old.
Yeah, this is the original teller window.
For the bank.
No vault, yeah.
I bet it's old enough to have a kick plate on it, isn't it?
It's got the marble.
Yeah, but there it is. So this is Mr. Ben Sutton's car.
It is, yeah.
53.
You got it restored.
Karen, what we got here?
Aunt Bee's Farmhouse and Bakery.
Oh, wow.
I made good soap, charcoal.
Charcoal soap? Here is a Harry Potter quilt.
Brenda, this is Mike and Karen Friday.
Nice
This is Brenda Curtis. She
Hi, Brenda.
owns the shop here and mainstay in Granville. One of the entertainers in our local shows.
What part do you play?
Well, I've played Helen and Thelma Lou. I played Aunt Bee when Miss Liz was sick, and just whatever they asked me to do.
Well, you have a really nice shop.
You do.
Thank you.
Is there a place people can find it online?
I'm on Facebook, Aunt Bee's Farmhouse.
Aunt Bee's Farmhouse on
Yes, sir.
Facebook. Okay, thank you. It's
And we
nice to
have
meet
the
you.
Quilt Museum, and
Yeah, we'll check that out.
awesome. Thanks.
You're welcome.
And I think she changes this out about every 3 months.
Okay.
She gets quilts from different regions of the country and different
Okay.
backgrounds, families, things of that sort.
Right. Okay, if you're looking for a quilt, there you go. Come see Brenda.
Or if you're a quilter,
Yeah.
they have material and patterns there.
Or check her out on Facebook.
Yes.
And we got another stop up here. We're headed to the museum. So much to see here in this town.
Yes.
Beautiful, friendly. I was just talking when we were walking around in there. I can't believe how friendly the people are here.
Yes. Very.
Got a fire hydrant right there, don't they? Old milk truck. Look at these bottles. Look at that.
Neat mural back here.
It is, isn't it?
Farmland, yeah.
1916. What's drawn first? This is the Granville Museum. Oh yeah. How neat.
Good.
Wow. Look at that. Quaint Methodist Church.
This is unique. This is the stage curtain from the old Granville High School. And this was probably, I think there's a date behind it or somewhere, somebody gave it to you, I'm gonna guess in the 40s. And they found this rolled up in the Jackson County School District office amongst a bunch of boxes and all this stuff.
We're having church over here.
And here's the attendance is on the board.
These pews, I think I have the right church. I think these came out of the Church of Christ, which was in this building.
Oh, okay.
This was the original Church of Christ building.
He kind of looks like the skipper from
It
Gilligan.
does, it does. It really does. A little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all come back.
Okay, we sure will.
This is the history in a nutshell here.
Oh, yeah. That's where we went in.
Mm-hmm.
This was the old bridge that was at the end of this street before the lake came in.
Mm-hmm.
And the floodwaters actually, the only thing was showing was the top run right here. The flood actually covered the end of the bridge.
Yeah.
Tell stories.
Civil War in Granville.
The T.B. Sutton Store was built in 1880 by the Cooper family, and they operated until 1925 when it was purchased by Mr. T.B. Sutton for $2,500. He operated the store until 1970. Miss Sutton had passed away, his health had become bad, and he put metal over the front doors and windows and closed the store. And for the next 30 years, it remained closed. Everybody thought the store was beyond repair. When a couple came here in 2000, we had begun a museum in 1999, and we began a car show, and they came to see the cars and fell in love with the store. This was Harold Sutton and his wife Beverly. He wanted to purchase the store, and it was owned by Mr. Sutton's grandchildren in North Carolina and Texas, and he was able to purchase it. He brought a crane in, he cabled the building, he spent some $200,000 restoring it. Everything in this store is original. So what you see today on the National Historical Register is the T.B. Sutton store that is totally original, with the exception of a few tables and chairs and a player piano that we have in the dining room.
That looked like the countertops were original.
They're all original.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to have dinner right here.
Yes, I have.
At 5 o'clock, and then there's some bluegrass music.
Yes.
We invite you all to come along.
We already have our tickets.
Yeah, I think it's 1 meat, 3 vegetables, some bread, dessert. Should be good country cooking.
Yes, it should be.
But we're touring around the store right now, and we end up with being back here tonight for some music and a meal.
Yes.
Look at this, Sutton Old Time Music Hour, Bluegrass Music, weekly, Saturday nights, 6. Look at that. Here's a stage where they'll be singing in a little bit. Granville, Tennessee, established 1836. Dinner time.
Yeah, but it's going to be some good country eating.
All right, Fridays, you're going to be at table number 2. Let's see where they got you.
So, how many people have been to Sutton Old Time Music Hour before? Raise your hand. Yeah, got any leftovers? Anybody taking any home with you? Or what was the dessert? Peach coffee.
Well, that was a great tour of the town.
Yeah, this historic walking tour, and it takes some time to stop at all those places and check them out.
Yeah, and the volunteers, everybody here is so friendly.
Yes.
In Granville, folks, you got to come and experience this. It is the Mayberry friendly town.
It is. At one point, Mike said, everybody's too friendly here, and I went, can you technically be too friendly? I don't think so.
No, we know this was probably a long video. We hope you stuck with us. Until next time, we're Fridays.
Forever.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.